Turn this off. We had the air conditioning going. It's lit in here.
About to snatch a nigga buck in these black forces. Every minute looking tough in these black forces. I'll fuck a nigga up in these black forces. Let a nigga run up in these black forces. Beat my baby mama ass in these black forces. I'm about to cut the grass in these black forces. Stealing money out your bag in these black forces. You don't wanna see me, man. These black forces on, so you know what.
All right, obviously, we do not on this show condone beating women in any type of way. That's corny shit. But that I'm gonna say he's the GOAT of this specific avenue of rap. But that's Gmac Cash, Black Forces 2. Don't worry about it, I'm dropping shit in here. It's off this King of Comedy Rap 2 album. It's this project that he put out this year. He has such hits like Dice Game, again, like I said, Black Forces 2, Big Mac 2, Bothering Me on Stage, I Ain't No Snitch. When I said that he's the GOAT of said avenue, it's because his avenue is comedy rap. I listened to this on the way to work today. This is literally just like, to me, it felt like a really great, I don't want to disrespect, it's going to probably sound disrespectful to y'all. It's like a stand-up musical, and I loved it. It's all love, man. I gave him a shout out today on IG. Again, this is Gmac Cash. The song that was playing was Black Forces 2. I got to look at it because I haven't memorized this whole track list yet. This shit is mad funny. So I discovered this gentleman last year around the early stages of COVID because he's from Detroit, Michigan, and their governor, Gretchen something, he had a song out that's called Big Gretch. I feel like I talked about it on the show. Again, this is this is Lunchtime TV, formerly known as the Michael Jackson Show, and then the Starters on the Bench podcast is all rolled into one. So here we talk about music, sports, video games, books, other niggas' podcasts, even the ones that are doo-doo. I'm trying not to be disrespectful, but listen, I just realized that like in the coming month, it'll be like 2 years since I've been doing this. And although I put out pretty good content, I'm very far behind the 8 ball with a lot of how I represent and brand myself. And I actually had some people tell me that I was doo-doo the other day. So I was like, okay. And then I went and listened to their shit, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? This is a group of y'all. Y'all barely can carry on a fucking conversation. I'm in here solo. I could give you 2-3 hours of this content if I need to because I'm that good. And my man Gmac Cash is that good with these comedy raps. Even Big Gretch, I was listening to that on the way to work, and I was like, yo, what's this other records that he has? So I put this on. And again, it's like a stand-up musical, which I don't feel like even exists, and if it does, y'all need to put him on. This shit is mad funny. The Dice Game record, that was one of my favorites. Obviously, Black Forces 2, because I had that playing for y'all. Broke was another one that I was dying laughing, like literally on the way to work. I did shed a few tears. I was laughing so hard, trying not to wreck on the way to work because this shit is so damn funny. But anyway, thank you for tuning in. Welcome to the show. Like, subscribe, share this with your friends. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. Again, that's Gmac Cash, Black Forces 2. I didn't hear the first King of Comedy Rap album. I need to download that because I bet that shit is fire too. But anyway, welcome back to the show, man. Last week I just kind of gave y'all a little bit of some background on what's been going on, which is absolutely not a damn thing. I just been choosing me over this and the rest of these other things because I feel like my mental health is still #1 priority, and then obviously maintaining my place of peace. So I've just decided that even though yes, I am very committed to this, I'm also very much committed to me. So if I'm going through a rough couple of days, it's not going to be nothing for me to be like, you know what, this is cool. Now, I will say this because I've said this to people in conversation and they've been like, well, and not in a rude way, but they've been like, well, I mean, what are you going to do if you make it? Because the demand once you make it will be very high. They're going to need you to be on call and you're going to have to be available. And Yeah, when you start paying me to deal with stress, absolutely, I'll be there. I can is it this up or down? I can put on the face that is needed in order to maintain the checks that are coming in. You know why? Because the checks are important. But we're not getting paid for this right now. This is a gift for y'all. For those who watch this and you're entertained by it, that's all this is. Where I'm just sharing my gifts with y'all, just like y'all share your gifts with me, and it's cool. We all cool like that. But again, if I'm going through a rough patch, I'm gonna be like, yo, we hitting the snooze button today, because again, maintaining my place of peace is so much more important nowadays. I love the new version of myself. Love it. I love this guy. Anyway, one thing, you know what? I've been dying laughing over the last couple weeks, and I don't know why I keep forgetting to bring this up on the show. I've been going back and looking at this tweet that I tweeted, and it was just an example of how when I get, let me ask you something. You ever get real high and then your whole education go out the window? That ever happened to y'all? Sometimes if I'm like really going in on a day, we're talking about maybe 10, 12 joints, blunts, whatever in a day. This is a weekend thing because I'm a goddamn adult. So on the weekends, for recreation, and I live in the state of Washington, you can do this. I smoke weed. I don't care who knows that because it's just what it is. So the weekends is when I really turn up. During the week, I'm like, maybe one or two, and then we call it because I have things I gotta do. But when you get really stony baloney, all of a sudden it's like you forgetting how to spell stuff. This may not happen to y'all, and I have to say I'm not embarrassed that it happens to me sometimes because that's how I know I'm getting what I paid for. Because it don't be happening during regular hours. But there was this one day where I think I was celebrating because I had something really good happen to me. So I was like, I'm going to celebrate. And I was gone. Similar to this reminded me of my 24th birthday, except this time I was prepared for this shit. So I didn't feel like I had a panic attack. I think I told that story on this show one time where I was like so lit. I don't remember how I got home, which was crazy. Because when you're 24, it's not okay. Because we don't condone it on this show. It's not okay to be irresponsible. But when you're in your 20s, you just don't be thinking a lot. Anyway, made it home. It was my birthday. I was turned up. But this was kind of like this time, but only where I was just like, oh no, we're not letting that shit happen again. So everything was cool. But again, your education goes out the window because all of a sudden I couldn't spell properly. So I tweeted something. I replied to a tweet and I had a really good joke and it landed. The only problem was in that mode, I was so stoned that for some reason I had convinced myself that I had never seen the letter Q in the word mannequin. So for some strange fucking reason, I was spelling that shit with K's. I don't know what happened. My brain malfunctioned. And I'm so gone. I'm laughing. I'm dying laughing. So funny. And people are retweeting. They're laughing too. And for an hour, I don't think anyone realized how stupid it was. And then somebody pointed out, he goes, they ain't got no Q's over there. And I was like, looking at it, I'm like, oh shit. Spelt the shit wrong. Again, whole education is out the window. It's a lot, but it's not a lot, if that makes sense. But lately, because it was so funny, because after it was pointed out to me how dumb I was in here literally on the floor. It's a limited amount of space for me to roll around and laugh, but I was doing it. I had a good time with that. So over the last couple weeks, I've been going back in times of need, like when I need to have a good laugh, I literally will go back and look at that tweet and be like, damn. Just as from the outsider perspective, I'll be like, this shit is so stupid. This nigga's so stupid. It was funny. Genuine laughs, gut laughs from how dumb that was. And then I was just like, yo, I had to hit myself with a Stephen A. Smith moment. The stay off the weed. You know how he does that shit? Oh, it's so fucking annoying. I hate it. But yeah, it was one of those moments. And I think that shit is hilarious. And there was a part of me at first, like the next day when I was like, God, this was so dumb. I was like, should I be embarrassed by this? And I'm like, no. Because I'm just a human. And sometimes we do stupid stuff. Some of y'all are real stupid. And that's okay. You just have your moments. Not even that you're stupid. We all just do dumb stuff sometimes. I know I'm not stupid. But in that moment, I just was like, yo, I'm so relaxed. I just turned half of my brain off. You know how just people would be like getting tired of just cut the lights off? You know, it was like a situation like that. But that shit had me rolling. So if you need laughs or inspiration and you have my phone number and you need a good laugh for the day, reach out to me and I'll send you a screenshot of this tweet. Or I guess you could go look at my Twitter, but a lot of people don't follow me on Twitter. And I only use Twitter to basically heart booty pics, if we're being completely honest. Because for some reason, my whole timeline is sports, booty pics, and for some strange reason, all the funniest comedians are on Twitter. They're not famous, they're just regular people. So it's comedy, sports, booty pics, Harry Potter, and then inspirational quotes. Yeah, I almost forgot that last one. Anyway, I want to say we have a live show, but I don't, and we don't. Me and the voices in my head, we just decided that what is there really to talk about? There was a couple of things that I had saved, but for the most part, we're just over here vibing low key. There was a couple of things though. I don't want to. Okay, we'll do the Trick Daddy Beyonce thing. We can at least do that. I like that he made his comments and then when people questioned him, he stood on it. I like that he didn't back down and cave to the peer pressure and then come out and be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to talk about Beyonce. Now, Trick Daddy is an older artist. He is not... I feel like he's inactive in the rap game. Besides, you saw him last week doing backup vocals for Trina because they have songs together and he put her on. He created Trina, he helped build the mass appeal that is Trina. Obviously, she is wildly talented. She's very beautiful. She's amazing. And she is a legend in the game. He helped do that. He also made music and put other people on. Did a lot of wonderful things late 90s, early 2000s. He's not active right now. He said that he doesn't feel like Beyonce can sing. I'm on record on this show saying that I'm not saying that she can't sing. I don't think she has the greatest vocals that I've ever heard. But if you were to ever ask me who I think the greatest entertainers of all time are, it would be 1, Michael Jackson, 2, Beyonce, and then after that, you can basically just fill it in however you want. I don't think anyone would, and I'm talking about across all genres, because you're thinking of how they perform, the way they put on a show, the way they command a crowd, and the attention that they demand. If you go back and you think of what type of hype that Michael Jackson has surrounded him, if you are someone who can make motherfuckers pass out when you walk up or walk by, and you're not even that fucking close, you're doing something that's crazy. And when you can go out and perform night after night, city after city, show after show, and you can continue consistently to put out these amazing performances, you are one of the GOATs. Again, also on record, this guy saying that I think Whitney Houston has the best vocals I had ever heard in my entire life. And I also believe that if Aaliyah wouldn't have perished, that I don't think Beyonce as a solo artist would have the same type of hype. And only because that shit would be split with Aaliyah. It was going to be split. Don't argue with me. If you were there for what Aaliyah was doing, you know this to be true. Beyonce still would be great. But it will be hard for her to be as great when she actually has somebody who could compete. Now, Trick Daddy just flat out said she couldn't sing, that sounds crazy. Come on, cuz. You're wilding for that. We can all admit that. You're wilding for that. Something's wrong with your brain. Anyway, Beyonce has a very loyal fan base. I will say this. I don't ever want to be attacked by the Beehive, but that's why I wanted to make sure that I prefaced all my stuff and provided some background on why I think and feel the way I feel. So that way I'm not just jumping out the window. I love Beyonce. I listen to a lot of her songs. My favorite Beyonce song is Halo. And then next after that, I really like the way she was spazzing on If I Were a Boy. That great vocals on that. Message is dope. What's the other one? She killed it on Irreplaceable. She has cuts, okay? She does have cuts. But just as an R&B fanatic that I am, I just think, like, when I'm thinking of vocals, Whitney is it. She is the top, and then everybody else can fall underneath that. And if you don't believe me, just go listen to old Whitney Houston records. And all you new people that are like, oh my God, Beyonce, she's the queen. No, she is a queen, one of many, but not the highest. I'm sorry. But again, I don't want the Beehive to come after me the way they came after Trick Daddy. Trick Daddy owns a restaurant, maybe many restaurants in the South Florida area. My nigga, let's get to these comments. Oh my God. The Beehive went and left reviews on his restaurant. He dropped about like crazy rating. Like it was crazy. So listen to some of these comments, man, because he really took the L behind this Beyonce shit. And I kind of feel like it's unfair, but it's a little funny. I want to make sure, Disgusting food. Seriously though. The service was so bad and the food was so subpar. Definitely do not recommend the restaurant. They can't even sing. That's petty. The food was appalling. I've never in my life tasted such filth. Excuse me. Again, the education. The lemonade, on the other hand, was divine. Okay, so we start off for about, it feels like it's 70-30. The shit is trash. This is when it gets good. Food was awful. I asked for an extra sauce and they gave me a bowl full of old fish grease. There was a huge brawl right next to my table. The staff was also involved in the brawl. Just crazy, messy atmosphere. Obviously, you have to know that some of this stuff's probably not true, but it doesn't matter. Because if people read this shit, they're not going to go to that restaurant. And when those comments get put on there, the algorithm is going to start to go crazy and then your stars start to fall off. Here's a good one. It was horrible. Bad customer service and the food was disgusting. Shake my head, never again. This probably was the best comment. Mainly because we've been talking about education on this show. It just says it has roaches. No period, no exclamation mark, no nothing. Just it has roaches. The food wasn't that good, nor was the drinks okay. I recommend y'all not eat there. It's roaches all through the restroom, and I don't even know what kind of bug that was in my food. All right, so let me read my favorite comment. Food tasted like bathwater, and the bathroom was disgusting. It looked like someone just gave birth on the floor. Blood was everywhere with blankets and roaches. You're better off eating food in the dumpster behind a Whataburger than this trash. The part of that comment that confused me was, why was it necessary to add the part about the blankets? Why? I don't know, and it doesn't matter. Trick Daddy's restaurant's probably going straight to hell, and that's what you get for fucking with Beyonce. If this only get 2 views on it, it's probably gonna be because I said something negative about Beyonce. Man, I remember a former friend of mine. I remember she would try to bring up Beyonce to me. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's probably the only time in my life where I've known of a person who is deemed as a representative of the black community be drooled over by white people. Because the white girls that I would know, they'd be like, "What? Beyonce is not your queen?" Like, they're disgusted with me because I think Beyonce just is good, not great. That's it. That was crazy to me, cause like the way that they talked about him, like I would be like, "Yo, you need to go get a Santa cloth and go wipe off. All right, chill." She just be doing music, cuz. But it's crazy that like the lengths that her fans will go to, cause like, and none of these people know her. Like, I did know somebody that like Shorty's cousin was like on her team, and like there was proof of that. Like, they went to concerts doing the whole nine. Shout out to homie. It was real. But even her, I was like, it's just Beyonce, right? But no, these people love Beyonce. The same way that white people love stealing black people's dances on TikTok. Apparently, black creators are on a TikTok strike. The funniest comment I saw over that was on the Shade Room post, and somebody had commented where they said something like, it's been like 5 or 6 days and like the white people still haven't like come up with a dance. Like, they're really struggling. And that kind of hit me where I was like, damn, like that's probably all the proof you need that they really be stealing, because like the black folks be having like the album or the song will drop and then there's a dance within an hour because we're like that. Well, these people have 5 days. I don't know what dance it is. I don't know what they're on strike for. I saw a video where a dude did something funny where he just gave the camera like the middle finger as if to like fake like he was gonna go into some dance move, and then he like pulled back and was like, nah, F it. And that was the thing that they stole. I did see that, where then the people were popping up with videos where they were like taking moves from past dances and then just like kind of doing it while they were giving the camera the middle finger, maybe not realizing that, y'all, that's not the dance, that's his protest. That this is how we know you're biting our style. But still, for some strange reason, a lot of you think it's cool to ban critical race theory. I don't understand that. I ordered this book, and it's going to be here tomorrow. I'm going to start reading it. For those of you who know me personally, you know what my day job is. And I don't know, I'm gonna read it. I'm going to get well versed. I'm probably going to I'm going to teach it. Why not? And just in the sense of like, I'm not going to allow, my biggest thing is like, I'm not going to allow the people who are around me to walk around being completely ignorant. They will be provided options. And just in a sense of, I'm not forcing views or my views onto anybody. But I'm also not going to be the person that keeps the curtain in front of people's eyes in regards to like what was really going on. Even up to this point, when I teach like World War II stuff, I always will take it back and relate it to like the things that we've been going through now. Or like, this is still like all these types of things happen, just in the sense of, look at how it's like a person in a position of power hoping that he can get a lot of people on board with trying to eliminate another group of people. These people not minding their own business. You see how they was doing this back then. This is not the first time. Like, you're just pointing out the obvious. We're not going to not do that. If you ban this stuff from these schools, you're doing your children a disservice, because you're not putting them up on the real game. saw this video where this white lady was talking at a city hall type of meeting or whatever. And she said something that did stick out with me. I hardly remember anything else she was saying because I'm also to that point where, like, I appreciate and I love allies. But what are they doing when the cameras aren't around and when it's not trending? And I've had to ask myself lately too, like, how many of my white friends are actually like going to stick up for me in one of these encounters? How many will actually do it? Put their shit on the line for me. Am I worth it to them? Shit, who knows? But she said something where she said, we're not asking you to put your head on the chopping block for the transgressions of your ancestors. But we still asking you to, like, educate yourself and educate your children. Because then obviously you see other videos like the one where there's some 9-year-old giving a speech at a town hall meeting where she's expressing her displeasure over the fact that there were Black Lives Matters posters in her school. She's in elementary school. And she talked about how she had a whole back and forth with their principal on some, why are these up? I told you I didn't want them up. And he said, oh, well, they're going to stay up. And she says, no, they're not, because according to the school board at the meeting, they said that they were going to take them down. And then he proceeds to tell her that the damn school board was the one who printed them out and had them put up. But she is recounting where at the previous meeting, they had told her that they were going to have them removed from the school. So fucking which one is it, man? Do y'all give a fuck or do you not? I'd rather you just be open and be like, I don't give a shit. I don't care about you. I don't care about your people. I don't care about your bloodline. I'm like, okay, cool. Stay the fuck over there. Because if you get close to me, I'm going to end your shit. Because you're on that hatred type of stuff. And I don't trust that you can actually stay over there and keep your fucking hands to yourselves. But if you actually care, then you tell the young lady and her family that this type of shit, y'all can save that for your household. Because here on school grounds, we care about these people. And we're not putting this up to say that we care about them more than we care about you. We're putting it up because we want them to know that they are welcome when they come on this campus. And that they shouldn't have to, nor do they have to, walk around in fear that people do not care about them while they spend time on this campus. And maybe you should tell your 9-year-old to not worry so much about whether or not there are Black Lives Matters posters around her fucking school. Shorty, worry about your education, fam. Because if you end up like me and you over here getting too high, it's going to be out the damn window. All right, man. Thanks for tuning into the show. Like, subscribe, do all the things. Holla at your boy. Demand that this stuff be taught in schools, man. White people, do the right thing. Stop letting these people try to dictate what they want to teach to your kids, aka just sugarcoat all the bad shit that your people did. Own it, man. Just own it. Lunchtime TV, and I'm out.